Should you buy Solana now? This question was actually going through my head. So let's break down the key points and indicators in this video. Here is a summary of the key factors that will determine whether Solana can make a new all-time high this cycle. For more daily crypto videos, like and subscribe to not miss any. First, we have cycle performance against BTC. And so far, Solana hasn't really made a new high versus Bitcoin in this cycle. The last time we saw something like this was in 2021 when Ethereum also failed to make a new high versus Bitcoin after its parabolic move. But ETH did eventually go on to crush all-time highs against Bitcoin in the following cycle. In order for something similar to happen with Solana, we need the SOL-BTC ratio to actually start making new highs, and we are currently just simply consolidating. Now, sure, this could change. It wouldn't be surprising to see a big breakout in the coming weeks or months, but as of right now, this isn't a great sign. Next, we have current valuation. And even though Solana has already done an insane 29x from its bear market low, briefly touching $250, it's since dropped below $100 and is now forming what could be a double top pattern. Keep in mind that while this may look bearish in isolation, it's important to consider the overall macro environment where almost everything is down significantly from its peak. Moving on, we have key Fibonacci levels, and the SOL-BTC ratio recently bounced right off of the 0.618 level. Now, this is a very common level for altcoins to respect in their second cycle, including Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, XRP, you name it. But to truly outperform in this cycle, we need to break above the 0.0033 SOL-BTC ratio level. This would put Solana around $700, $800. And honestly, it's looking less and less likely that this happens in the short term. This brings us to price targets, and there are three different ones that we have highlighted. First is our base price target, which assumes BTC at 200K and a SOL-BTC ratio at 0.0022, which is more conservative. This would give us a price of around $440 for Solana. Our next price target is a bit more bullish. We assume BTC at 250K and a slightly higher SOL-BTC ratio at 0.0024, giving us a price target of $600 for Solana. Now, keep in mind, these price targets are still short-term, they're not long-term. And finally, we have our true bullish target, which is if Solana can somehow outperform Bitcoin and actually reach the previously mentioned 0.00033 SOL-BTC ratio, this would put Solana above $700, $800. Now moving on to some supporting factors, we have institutional adoption and regulatory progress. And this is probably Solana's biggest strength right now. Starting with ETFs and futures, the CME launched SOL futures back in March 2025. This makes Solana only the third crypto asset to have this after Bitcoin and Ethereum. And this is huge because it allows institutions to gain exposure to Solana without having to directly buy the token on an exchange. Just a few days ago, Fidelity also filed for a spot SOL ETF in the US, and just a month ago, the first spot SOL ETF was launched in Canada. Bloomberg even gives a 90% chance of a US ETF approval by October 10th. And just a couple weeks ago, BlackRock, the largest asset manager in the world, said they are considering a Solana ETF and they already integrated Solana in their on-chain fund. Next, we have the SEC position, and just a couple weeks ago, the SEC dropped its lawsuit over SOL being a security. While this isn't exactly positive news, it is at least a step in the right direction. Next up, we have fundamentals and ecosystem strength. And even though Solana is arguably the second most popular smart contract platform behind Ethereum, the only other serious non-EVM smart contract platform with major adoption is Arbitrum. Other L2s and Layer 1s don't even come close to matching Solana's TVL, wallet addresses, DApp volume, transaction activity, etc. Honestly, in terms of a viable Ethereum alternative, Solana is the only real option right now. However, it's worth noting that Solana is still very much retail-heavy, and it hasn't been able to gain much institutional traction compared to Ethereum yet. But again, this could change over time. In addition to this, scalability is no longer a major differentiator in 2025. Almost every major L1 can handle a high volume of transactions. So Solana's unique selling proposition compared to something like Ethereum is not as strong as it once used to be. And lastly, there is the risk that Solana ends up becoming another relic L1, like EOS, NEO, DOT, etc. Finally, we have timing, and we think a good buying range for Solana is between $100 and $150. We expect the peak to occur in mid-2026 due to the Fed pausing quantitative tightening, otherwise known as QT, and the overall altcoin bull run starting with improved global liquidity. We're expecting Q4 2025 to be the bottom line. If the aforementioned catalysts play out, we think Solana will hit our base price target of $440 to $600, assuming Bitcoin rallies to 250K and the SOL-BTC ratio recovers. However, if Solana wants to prove itself as a durable top-tier altcoin, it needs to do more than just hit $700, $800 and make new highs on the BTC ratio. Now, this is a lot to unpack. So let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Are you bullish or bearish on Solana? Thanks for watching, and until next time. Let me know which coins we should look at next. Also consider leaving a like when the information is useful. Thank you very much in advance.